Hey guys, this is Double D from the Entitled Millennials podcast, and this is my Thinking Out Loud series. It's been a little while since I've made a Thinking Out Loud video, but I wanted to make just a quick, hopefully 5-minute video talking about the recent shooting in Kenosha, Wisconsin, with this Kyle Rittenhouse character apparently traveling over state lines from Illinois, 17-year-old kid, coming to a Black Lives Matter protest that came out to advocate for justice for the killing of Jacob Blake, who, as you guys know, was shot, I believe, 7 times in the back by a police officer. Apparently, Jacob Blake called the police over a civil dispute that he saw in the streets between 2 residents there. And then when the police arrived, he was walking back, I believe, to his car where his family was, and an officer that was on duty coming to the scene apparently shot him 7 times in the back with no probable cause at all. Just obviously another senseless murder of a black man by police. So we saw a resurgence of the Black Lives Matter protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin, all throughout Wisconsin, really. And this 17-year-old kid, like I said, Kyle Rittenhouse, who was obviously radicalized through some of the online alt-right movement that we have seen, traveled all this distance clearly looking for trouble. And I just wanted to make a brief video talking about this. Like I said, this sort of radicalization in this young man, Kyle Rittenhouse, we have seen with countless other mass shooters, school shootings. And a lot of it is stemmed from this sort of extremism that's developed online. It's this extremism that's developed in general in our public and political discourse. I mean, I don't think, at least since the 60s, maybe in the 70s, have we seen a more divisive time in American politics. So obviously a lot of that comes from this sort of online radicalization, this full-bore right versus left narrative and paradigm that's happening in this country. But I wanted to touch mostly on, I think, this idea that there is more going on here that is creating these sort of mentally unstable or delusional people that are willing to act in this way, that are willing to commit these acts of mass murder or violence. And what I think it comes down to, other than this political radicalization, is this sort of lack of community. And I think we see a lack of community contributing to all sorts of problems in our culture. But namely this generation, Kyle Rittenhouse's generation, these kids that are just coming of age, they're 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, maybe even 20. This generation is the first generation, really, that has grown up in a world, has grown up with a worldview where they did not exist. They don't know what the world was like before the internet. Okay? And now our generation, the millennials, we were the first generation to really truly experience the internet. But as we were growing up, we still had more of this sense of community. Yeah, we were always on our phones. Our parents bitched at us. But, growing up as teenagers, we were still going to games. We were still getting together all the time and having parties. We were still going outside, still doing sports, still doing activities. We still had our tight-knit groups, like even nerds and more eclectic people, they had their groups that got together to play Magic the Gathering, to do whatever, because we weren't completely encapsulated in this womb of the ether of the internet. We had to go out. We could only do so much discussion and so much connecting on the internet. But what I think is causing this sort of like alienation and like existential dread and outright sociopathy is this almost like hikikomori type culture of people like Kyle Rittenhouse that are complete shut-ins. But really, it's this culture of young men in particular that no longer know how to, they no longer not only have a sense of community or belonging other than these alt-right radical groups on the internet, Reddit forums, whatever have you. They don't know even, they have antisocial behavior disorder where they don't even know how to anymore interact with other human beings in a willing way. And they are so disconnected from other human beings that they almost don't see other people as human anymore. And then you throw in racial biases and racial hatred and stuff, and that further dehumanizes people to where they're willing to do this sort of thing, go up and shoot up a church, a school, a mall, what have you. And it's dark, guys, and I don't think this sort of thing is going to get any better unless we have a cultural shift. And I don't know what sort of form that's going to take with the prevalence of the internet now. I don't see it getting anything but worse, really. And obviously this is a really serious issue, and I don't mean to make light of it, but you know, I saw this, and I talked about this on the podcast that we just released, but I saw this like meme of Kyle Rittenhouse and like all these other you know, young white men or boys really that were active shooters, alt-right people, and in the meme was something like, what is it going to take to make this stop? And jokingly I was like, these kids are incels. The only way we're going to make this fucking stop is if we help them get laid, hashtag legalize sex work. And now I know that's a dark joke and I'm taking that to a dark space. But what I'm saying, there's some truth to. And it's not that they're not getting laid, but it's this lack of human connection that is driving them literally insane in this little internet, ethernet cocoon that they've made for themselves. And again, guys, I just think we're going to see this sort of thing getting worse. We're going to see more of this. And I don't know, but it's just incredibly sad. And I just wanted to make a quick video kind of giving you some of my thoughts on this and why we're seeing this level, these sorts of acts of violence more and more, and why I think there's not really going to be an end in sight, especially as the political divide continues to widen. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you haven't already, please like, please subscribe. I'll try to do another Thinking Out Loud video for you guys this week and hopefully get it uploaded for you next week. But as always, guys, I love you and thanks for tuning in. Take it easy.